All right, y'all. Now that we finally seen all the gameplay, all the demos that everybody went play, we're gonna be talking about Xenoverse 3 and what do y'all think y'all like about this game. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Me watching the game and further watching it more and more, people are saying that it doesn't really play like Xenoverse 2. Um, I think it does at a certain extent, but when you factor into all the changes that they made, like the soul assist, the Super Saiyan transformations on a time basis, and also the skills that has a cooldown effects, people are saying that it's kind of awful. And I think that maybe they should look at it, think about what they're doing, and rework some aspects of the game. I think it could be fixed. I think this game could be fixed if we just talk to Bandai, we talk to these developers, we make sure we let them know exactly what we want for this game. I don't want everything to be. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all this. If everything's on a cooldown basis, I feel like we should be able to make it to where whenever we're done, whenever we get our character to the max, we should be able to eliminate the cooldown almost indefinitely. And as for the Super Saiyan also, I feel like we should be able to get to Super Saiyan faster, and we also should be able to hold the time transformations a little longer. So this is the thing. Maybe people are judging it a little too harshly, but I would be too, if considering the fact that if the timing, if the transformation is only at 60 seconds, that's a bad thing. But I can also see it to where maybe if they balance it correctly, people will have a choice whether they want to use Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 3, as Super Saiyan being the option that, the form might last longer, but you're trading off more power for less time. So I can see Super Saiyan Blue being very strong, very, very strong. But in order to make this work, we have to be able to increase the time for Super Saiyan and also increase the time for Super Saiyan Blue. Super Saiyan Blue being a time less than Super Saiyan 3 and Super Saiyan 1. It would make it interesting because we know that people are just going to choose the strongest form. Once they unlock Super Saiyan Blue, they're not going to use Super Saiyan 3, and we need to make these forms useful. I could see it working only if y'all they make the time more reasonable. I don't think 60 seconds is a good enough option. Is not valuable enough. I think they're gonna have to increase the time of the transformation. They're also gonna have to be able to upgrade it even further. We should also be able to like put different skills on to be able to keep it up longer, or make you get to it faster. And also add different buffs to the transformation. For what I'm seeing, they have some work to do. People are mad they took out key canceling. Snap vanishing is gone, that people are saying. I don't know why they're taking away these skills like this, these skills that people have mastered. Maybe it's to get the newcomers in, and they're afraid that mastered Xenoverse players are going to be in the game and they're going to know these things. So maybe that's why they kind of like toned it down, because they're afraid of these mastered Xenoverse players beating up these newcomers. And I get it, but at the same time I don't, because this is what made Xenoverse fun. It's unpredictable, and I feel like the players will adapt. And Xenoverse is not just a game where it's just PvP. It has PvE. It has everything, anything that you could think of. It has story mode. It's very, very very enormous of the possibilities that you can do for this game. You don't have to just fight against players in the game. You can also go and do other things. Now, what I like about this Xenoverse 3 game, I do like the characters. A lot of them are more you know it's more creations that we can do. I love that. They still haven't really showed the city. I know in the demo they had parts of it blocked off. We want to see how big this city actually is. I mean, it looks pretty big. As far as flying abilities, once we be able to like fly around the city, that's going to be cool. They should increase the flying speed, especially if the city is going to be so big to where we going to be flying around. I think that this flying ability should be increased, or there should be a way that we can make our flying speed faster. I think that would be cool also. The game is looking very, like I said, we have to make sure that we put these videos out. We talk to the developers. We make sure we tell them exactly what we want, and y'all have to be very vocal about it. You like the videos, y'all say what y'all want. Bandai do check these videos. I'm telling y'all, they do check it. They look at the memes. They look at the disappointment. We have to make sure we be very vocal and let them know that we're not playing and we want our game to be great. So, here's the hoping that, they do listen and they do fix these things. If you're going to do a Super Saiyan time transformation, please let us extend the time. Let us extend the time. Let us extend the time. And, that would be a cool thing. For the cooldowns, there should be a way to make it less shorter. Make the game faster. The game is still too slow. It's still too slow. Speed it up a bit. Y'all babyfying it too much for people, but that's a lot of things that I want to see change. If you like the video, I will be doing more coverage on this game whenever more news come out. If you like it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you want to see in this game, what you want change, and I'll cover it in the next video.